Okay, while the presentation comes on, let me just check, because just two hands went up when Ravi asked about e-commerce. Let me ask a slightly different question. How many of you actually have thought of or want to start some kind of an e-commerce business? Some show of hands?
So we are in business.
That's why I said, let me call this the buyer's guide, right? It's like, you know, if I want to start an e-commerce business, what are the 4 or 5 or 6 key things that you need to keep in mind, okay? But just before I get there, let me just, something interesting from the last 2 videos. How, you know, the cost of technology has just dramatically come down. We started our first online business in '99. And we used to just, you know, dream about some of the technologies that we thought we should have, but we said it's just going to cost too much. We started BigBasket 2 years back. And we realized that the technology that we thought was completely out of bounds is just phenomenally more cost effective now. The kind of bandwidth that's available to you, the kind of computing power that's available to you at a price point which is just unbelievable. You know, just to give you a simple thing, and we are, you know, each month we are thinking of new ideas that we believe we can do without necessarily having to spend, you know, a fortune. For instance, we just recently launched a new UI, the user interface. Along with that, we built what is called the Smart Basket. Very simple, very, very fundamental stuff. All we do is, if suppose a customer has been shopping with us for the last 8 months, 12 months, we know typically what the customer is buying, in what frequency, and we therefore predict what most likely the customer is going to buy and keep it almost like a ready basket. It's almost like you walk into a supermarket store and there's a guy who's already waiting for you saying, please come, here is your trolley with all the items that you would most likely want to buy today. Just imagine if that happens. And that's what we are able to do today, okay? That's the you know, magnificence of the way technology has moved, and this is just the beginning. In fact, we are just working on a new analytics platform, which I personally am absolutely excited about. I think, you know, we are in the version 1, should be out in the next month or so. So it's going to really take us to a different platform altogether and really make us do things which will actually make a difference to the customer, okay? But that's apart. I think what I did was, before I said I will come for this session, I wanted to check with both Suresh, who first spoke to me, and with Ravi. What is the takeout that, because when you come and spend time, especially I didn't realize it's going to be, this crowd is going to be this big, there should be something that you take out of the 10 minutes that one spends. So Ravi said, I think there are some very key questions that anybody who wants to start an e-commerce business has in his mind, and maybe this is a point where somebody can clarify. So let me just start with the first one he asked me. Ravi asked me, is e-commerce business a winner takes all? How many of you heard this? All of you have heard of Flipkart? How many of you have heard of Flipkart? Okay. Now, the concept is Flipkart going to win the battle completely with nobody else winning, which is the winner takes everything. So it's a $1 billion plus valuation. So at some point, maybe the company is going to be worth so much that in essence, nobody else can even get in. Is that true? So why does it happen? One, because if you're the leader, the venture capitalist or the private equity company, I don't want to get into those terminologies a lot more. I think we can always do it offline. Is saying, okay, here is a company which seems to already taken the lead, so it's safer for me to put money into this company. So what happens? That company starts raising more money. Because they have more money, what do? They invest more into technology, they invest more into marketing, they are into TV advertising, they're all over the place. Because of which what happens? They scale more. Because now they scale more, the next PE says, who do I put money into? Same guy. So net result is what? the same guy gets funded again and again and again, and they are constantly getting bigger and bigger. So now what happens to the others? No place, right? So either Flipkart acquires them or they just run out of business. So that brings us to the question. So therefore, is the story over? Is e-commerce story in India over? What do you think is the answer? Only Ravi is saying resounding no. Okay, so let's look at yes and no. Part of the story is over, but is all the story over? Maybe no. So this is really where I'm coming from, segments and categories. Okay, and he also asked me a question about horizontal versus vertical. I mean, does an e-commerce company need to be across every category, or does an e-commerce company, can they also be specific to a vertical? Okay. In my view, very clearly, there will be a combination of both. There will be companies like Flipkart, which is into multiple categories. There will also be specific players. Like, for instance, we are very clear we are into grocery. We don't want to go anywhere else because we believe it's a significant category in itself. I don't know if you read the news 2 days back, this online jewelry company called Bluestone got funded. They raised their, what we call as a Series B investment.